All right, there we go. Right, so step 3 after conflict resolution is to essentially express yourself. Tell me, why do you like video games? Huh? So express yourself calmly. Right? So if someone, so let's take for example, Brandon likes video games. His father does not. Telling him that he needs to stop. And the step 2 would be that Brandon will actively commit to say, well, if you don't like me playing video games, I'll find another passion. But step 3 would be for Brandon to express why he likes video games to his father calmly, to show him that, yes, I am committed to go to another passion if we both find that video games are bad for me. Right? Step 4 is listening and understanding what each party is saying. So after Brandon explained that, hey, PlayStation 5 came out and it's the best thing to ever exist, right? He needs to now listen to what his father is saying about why he thinks he shouldn't be playing it. I know you had something to say. Step 5. When you finish expressing both and listening to both parties, someone or both of you have to acknowledge and forgive the next. So if after Brandon speaks about why he likes playing video games and his father begins to realize that, hey, he probably could go professional, right? The father then has to apologize. But if it's the flip side where Brandon realizes his addiction and he now has to acknowledge it and apologize to his father for saying, I'm sorry for what I've done in the past and I will strive to get better. All right. One moment. Let me just fix this. There we go. So that's step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. And the final step is step 6, which is, yes, he apologized, but what is the end result? Step 6 is to tell me that this will never happen again, where I will never get addicted to games again. Everybody understand? All right. So that was conflict resolution. Make sure you understand the steps, right? Now, if you find a problem and you solve it, more times often than not, it's important that you know what caused it so it can never happen again. Is right, that? Most times, solving a problem, finding a problem and solving it is not enough. Discovering what is causing these conflicts, ensure that it may not happen again. And that is where causes of conflicts topic comes in now. Causes of conflicts. Alright? And I'm just going to quickly go through them. So, because his father doesn't understand games, he just has a dislike for it. So it's a generation gap. Give another example. Another example would be that they just simply have different views. So if a parent wants to discipline their child one way, but the other parent disagrees, it's a case where they have different views of how to parent their child. And if a child know wants to be outside of the law because of the family situation, right? That child is experiencing problems with authority because they want to make their own choices. Most times, often than not, to reflect that they can't decide what is happening in their family. So this can lead to conflicts with school rules, dress codes, and demanding schoolwork, such as when teachers press you to submit your work. Right? Let's give one more example. Um, Doing schoolwork. Right? Because a child, so let's the picture that we had earlier where the child was covering their ears, it might be even that the child didn't do their schoolwork and got a call from the school. So that could be a serious area of conflict between the parents because they're saying, well, she's not performing well, so I don't see why you're being so kind on her, and so forth and so forth. So those are really four big areas where conflicts can arise. Generation gap, the different views of parents and children, problems with authority, and schoolwork. Everybody understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. To make sure you understand, though, I'm going to give you a little exercise. All right. You're going to do these two questions for me. Exercise. You're going to write your own definition of conflict, conflict resolution, and mediation. And you're going to come up with some statements now to demonstrate conflict situations caused by these two things: sibling rivalry or bullying. Let's put this activity date Saturday. Here we go. Put it at the end. There. Here we go. Right. And that will really captivate the essence of conflict resolution. Right? There's another aspect to conflict resolution where it might not just be between friends or family on a whole, but it might just be in the home itself. Right? So what if it's a case where conflicts are just in the home? So let's say conflict resolution home. To solve the problems at home, it's difficult because different families deal with conflict differently. Right? So we can do three main things. Either you call a family meeting, write a note, or you just do something special to treat your family member. And we're going to do a little case study to understand this more. Steps. Right, let's do a case study. All right. Someone's going to help me with this. Right. Here we go. All right. I want Jada Lee to read this for me.
My youngest sister always takes my clothes. and stationary without asking. If I complain, she goes crying to mother, who says I mustn't upset her. We ended up yelling at each other until my parents send us to our rooms. Then the storm passes, at least till the next time.
Right. So that was a case study one. Let's do another case study before we answer the questions that will be under them. Let's put B. Let's put A. All right, Brandon, read B for me.
My siblings and I used to have raging fights. Then one day our parents got us to sit down and write a list of what we really like and practice about each other. Now when my sisters are driving me crazy, it's easier to remember that I actually like them.
Right. So we're gonna answer some questions about what is happening between the case studies. So we're gonna say, which issues are causing the conflicts in A and B? Questions 1, 1. What strategy has the family used? And list 4 different home conflicts that might be solved using one of the strategies listed. Okay. Okay. Let's go back up. So, what were the strategies that are listed above that could apply to this? Let's go back up and look at what were the strategies. Calling a family meeting, writing a letter, doing something special. Right? Apply one of these strategies to the members in case study A. And tell me, what do you think would happen? Jadali, so you read the first one. Choose one of those strategies. Let me give you like 2 more so you can choose from. Right, there we go.
And one strategy that to say is that the other sibling can ask like permission to take her clothes.
Right, exactly. So that would be a case of, I would say, you sorting it out essentially by just asking them officially to say, do X, Y, and Z. So you would have choose step 5, which is sleeping on it and sorting it out, essentially. All right, Brandon. So what strategy would you use to solve your situation in case study B? You there, Brandon?
Sorry, sir, what was it?
Yeah, what strategy would you use out of these strategies, right, to solve the situation in question B, in case study B? Right, so let's go through the strategies. You call a family meeting.
Sorry, wait. I have it.
Uh-huh.
Calling a family meeting.
Right, let's see if you're right. So you're saying that you have raging fights, okay? And your family sit you down. Okay, yes, you're correct. You call a family meeting because your parents got involved. Okay. So that's essentially the first one completed. Let's put a tick. There we go. All right. So we talk about the issue and we talk about the strategy. It's good. Then now I want you to list as an activity. Let's put it on here. List 4 different home conflicts that might be solved by the strategy that you listed. So there's two strategies I want you to use. Are the first one where you said call a family meeting. All right, and the second one was to sleep it off and discuss it. officially. Right. So using these two strategies, construct four other conflicts that could be solved. Right? Okay. All right. So as you can tell, conflicts is a very wide topic in terms of the home, but there's another aspect to conflict that we need to go through, which is what happens when you have conflict at school. Right? So conflict. Let's cover it right here. So conflict resolution. There you go. Conflict resolution at school. All right. So some examples of conflicts that you might see at school are just as the following. Peer pressure, bullying, clash with authority, and generation gap. All right. Okay. And to resolve these, to resolve these conflicts, you can use peer mediator programs, anti-bullying programs, class meetings, or seek a guidance counsel. So we're gonna go through quickly one case study again. Put a case study here. Right. So we had a problem with older students extorting money from the younger ones. The class came up with an idea for an anonymous tip-off box. Anyone could post a note about what was happening. What type of conflict resolution strategy was used? Jada Lee, what type of conflict resolution strategy was used to solve the bullying issue?
Sir, can you please, sir, please?
Okay, can you repeat?
Can you repeat what you said, please? You're buffering.
All right, can you hear me now? So I was saying, what conflict resolution strategy was used in the case study here to solve? Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
All right. So out of these four, what type of strategy was used?
Sir, class meeting.
So remember, they came up with a strategy or a tip-off box, especially. So it was something that they developed. It's not a case where they spoke about how to solve it. They actually brought about a process to solve it. So we could say it's an anti-bullying program. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Answer. Anti-bullying program. Okay. Let's go through one more. B. I used to bully other students. I don't really know how to stop, so I made a deal with a friend that she would do that she would step in if she saw me starting to get irritable and do my bullying thing. I also went quietly to those I'd bullied and apologized. I don't think they trusted me or forgave me straight away, but I felt better about myself. What strategy was used in this scenario? Anyone? So, in this case, now we have a bully himself as telling us that, hey, he wants to seek reform. So, he made a deal with a friend, right? Peer. So, he talked to a peer. So, what strategy did he use? Anyone? Tally, what strategy did the bully use in B?
He made a deal with his friend
Right.
that
If she ever
step in if she saw her starting to get irritable and do my bullying thing.
Mm-hmm. So in other
She
words,
would have a friend step in whenever she was going to bully anyone.
right. So in other words, they would ensure that he did not bully. So is it a case where he went to a guidance counselor, where he had a class meeting with everyone, where he had someone that the word mediator means to solve. So he would use a
Peer mediator.
right. So he would use a peer mediator program where anytime they would see him trying to get irritable, they would step in and ensure that he did not. So the answer here is a peer mediator program. No, the way that I normally do my last 10 minutes of each class is to summarize everything that we've discussed, right? And then ensure that you understand what your activity is for the remainder of the class, as well as the activities and homework that you have. So let's summarize everything. All right. So that was the final case study in conflict resolution at home and at school. Right. So let's go through here and say basically, let me summarize here. There you go. All right. So let's understand how many activities there is to do. So the first activity was in the functions of the family. So let's pull this activity out. Let's move it here. And then let's move it down here as well. There we go. Second activity. Wait, what? There we go. There we go. And then the third activity was for the roles and responsibilities. There we go. So let's summarize what the activities was again. All right, this was an activity. Date 31st. There we go. There we go. Right, so you have three activities. The first one was, in your opinion, what is the most important and least important functions of the family. Write a one-page essay or present and explain and send it to this email, right? And I heard someone say that they finished it already. Good job. The second one is to list 4 different home conflict strategies and use strategies to solve them using either call a family meeting or sweep it off and discuss officially tomorrow.
I just did one of them.
Yeah, you told me that you finished the first one, which was this one. So it's activity 1. Brandon finished already. Activity 2. Let's go back here. So activity 1, activity 2, and activity 3 was right here, which was to explain your role in your family, right? Talk about your responsibilities and define the definitions. And activity 3. Okay. Let's put that here. All right, there we go. Great. Let's erase this quickly. So does everyone understand what their activities are?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now I want you to quickly get started. All right. Let's go over what the topics that we just completed were. Functions of the family, roles and relationships. The next topic is unions and relationship. Put down there. Then we talked about conflict. All right, gave you 3 activities, and then next class we'll be talking about unions and relationships. Sound good, everybody?
Yes, sir.
All right, great. So yeah, just quickly start by beginning your essay, right? And Talia, I sent you an email. Just quickly check your email where I provided review of the reflective piece you made.
Yes, sir. I was looking at that earlier and I couldn't find where the corrections were.
Wait, did I send it as a PDF file?
I don't think so.
I should have sent it as let me quickly check.